is struggling at 0-7. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Paul McGuire. Now, Paul, it has been an outstanding season for Warren Moon, but last week against Miami was easily his worst game of the year. He has been intercepted 5 times the last 2 games, and perhaps, as he mentioned to us yesterday, that unsettled contract situation has become a distraction.
Warren Moon is totally out of this picture now as far as the contract is concerned. He's got his agent and his attorney working on his thing. He's down to play football. They also said that the Houston Oilers could not win on the road. Well, the last 2 weeks they did. Not convincingly, but they won. Warren Moon, the Houston Oilers would love today to just bury Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, there are still a number of Houston Oilers who have vivid memories of that 61-7 thrashing by Cincinnati 2 years ago. And the Bengals today, with Boomer Esiason sidelined by the shoulder problem, are going with a 3-year man out of Oregon State making his first NFL start. That is Eric Wilhelm, who will be at quarterback.
Well, we talked to Eric yesterday, and he really looks and feels confident. I have a lot of confidence in the young man. 2 things the Bengals must worry about. 1, the Houston Oilers blitzing him, getting him out of his patterns. The other thing is Wilhelm, you see right there, trying to win this game on his own. Just go with what the offense provides for you. Take what you have.
And there is Sam Weish, who usually keeps your attention. This pass bunted out in Buffalo. His reactions on the sideline would not be confused with, say, those of Tom Landry of years gone by. Cincinnati won the toss, and they will receive. Ian Howfield getting set to kick it away. And so the Cincinnati Bengals start out at the 31-yard line. Anthony Munoz, Bruce Reimers, Bruce Kazerski, Paul Jeton, and Joe Walter are up front. James Brooks and Harold Green are the running backs. And McGee and Brown, the wide receivers. Holman is the tight end. When they go to the 3 wideouts, Lynn James comes in. So here is Eric Wilhelm out of Dayton, Ohio. Spent most of his childhood growing up in Portland, Oregon. And he's able to complete to Brooks.
Number 21.
Now look at that Houston defensive unit. Fuller, Childress, Smith, and Jones in that front 4. William Fuller leading the AFC with 7.5 sacks. And they have played extremely well. Lamar Lathan has turned it around in his 2nd year. And on passing downs, Marcus Robertson and Mike Dumas come on. It is a 2nd down and 3. Nice play fake as James Brooks picks up the 1st down, and a penalty marker is thrown. Doug Smith made the stop, and the hold called against Cincinnati. The referee is Red Cashin.
You've got a young quarterback in there.
During the run, number 75 on the offense, still 2nd down.
That's Reimers, but you got a young quarterback. What I really loved is they let him come out and throw a pass right off the bat. You come back, you run the Brooks, get a 1st down, you have a holding penalty. You don't need this for a team that's struggling.
So it will be a 2nd down and 13. Now, 5 weeks ago, seldom used quarterback Hugh Millen led New England to a victory over Houston. And that is what Jack Pardee has been preaching to his club. Do not get overconfident. Eddie Brown, wide open, could not hold on.
He couldn't hold on, and I'll tell you why. Bo Orlando, number 26, is going to come into the picture right there, and the ball goes over his hand. Brown didn't see the ball coming in. Didn't look at the ball into his hands. If he would, it'd have been a touchdown because there was nobody back there.
That would have been a 30-yard advance. Instead, a 3rd down and 13. The Cincinnati Bengals, with a record of 0-7, 0-8, would equal their worst start in franchise history. While Houston off to its best start since 1975. The shovel pass handled by Brooks, but well short of the first down. Lamar Lathan, Marcus Robertson combining to make the stop.
You know, we were looking at the warm-ups. Here's the biggest problem here. Givens told us about this, Ernest. You see the ball into the light here? Now watch. It'll go into the darkness. There's a dark ball. You can hardly see the ball in the middle of the screen. Now when it comes back out again, to pick it back up is difficult. Givens spent Thursday here for about an hour trying to catch the ball, getting adjusted to the lighting.
Lee Johnson will punt from his 21. Ernest Givens returning punts last week for the first time since his rookie year and did an excellent job. And Johnson does pop it. And here comes Givens. Good coverage by Cincinnati as Givens is stopped back behind the 15-yard line. So the Houston Oilers will go to the offense. Mitchell Price on the scene in a hurry to put the clamps on Givens. Mags Munchak, who returned last week. Matthews, the rookie out of Syracuse, Flannery, and Williams up front. The quarterback is Warren Moon. The Oilers start with Alan Pinkett, but then come on with Lorenzo White, and there the Fab Four: Jeffries, Hill, Givens, and Duncan. And Haywood Jeffries having a sensational season. He leads the NFL in receptions with 44. Houston from its 15-yard line. And Moon going short range, able to complete to Ernest Givens, but he was stopped by the right corner, Eric Thomas. The Cincinnati front four with Williams moving up to the down lineman set in the defense against the run and shoot from Grant to Leoya. What did he say?
Tua Tagovailoa.
That's what he said. And the extra defensive backs against the run and shoot. Second down and 8 from the 17. No score. We're just underway. Jeffries not able to hang on.
Running without catching the football. He was downfield. When the ball comes, you'll see his head looking. Here comes Jeffries. Now watch his head looking to the left. Here comes the ball. He's gone. Never looked at the ball. It's like golf or any other sport. You gotta see it to catch it. You gotta see it to hit it.
It is a third down and 8 from the 17. 2.5 gone by in the first quarter. And Moon with the time has the first down and some more. Drew Hill with his 27th reception of the season. That goes for 17. He was covered by the rookie corner, Richard Fain.
Well, they're going to work on Fain, but watch how they clear this out. They clear it out with Givens, and here's Fain out here on Drew Hill. Gets both feet in bounds. I would think they'd look at that thing again because his right foot was in, but was his left foot in?
Well, they're up at the line and ready to go, so there will be no review. It's a first down just inside the 35-yard line. And it is Pinkett. Second week of the season against Cincinnati. A game that saw Houston break it open in the fourth quarter. Alan Pinkett ran for 101 yards. This time he was stopped by David Grant. Picked up only a yard. A second down and 9 at the 36. Talking with Warren Moon yesterday, we asked if there is a fear of looking past Cincinnati to Washington next week. Warren said his main concern about the Redskins getting enough tickets at RFK Stadium. So far, Paul committed to 12 and counting. Second down and 9. Again, a sideline pattern. But again, the coverage by Cincinnati is right there. Curtis Duncan was immediately popped by Mitchell Price. Mitchell Price making it back from injured reserve. He was out with a knee.
Cincinnati's got a linebacker, Alfred Williams, number 94. He's playing now down defensive lineman. Watch this. Now here he comes off the ball. He's taking a look at Pinkett back there. Does he have to cover him or not? Not really getting by Maggs, but I think he had coverage. I think that was his man, because Cincinnati will do that. They will send corners, safeties, and cover with linemen.
Alfred Williams, a native of Houston, first-round draft pick out of Colorado. It's a 3rd and 5. Lots of time for Moon. Ernest Gibbons fumbles, and the Bengals recover. Lewis Phillips on the recovery out of the 35-yard line. So Lewis Phillips, who has not been popular with the coaching staff in recent weeks, they have been down on him. He missed the Monday night game because of a dislocated little finger on his right hand. He said he jammed his finger in a car accident. Others say that, well, he injured it in a fight, and it's Phillips able to pick it up following the fumble by Gibbons. When we come back, it will be Cincinnati ball.
The first guy that's going to tackle him. But this all starts with Moon. Look at the time he has. There is nobody around him. He just waits and finds Gibbons. All right, Price misses. Bussey misses. And then Fulcher comes in and strips the ball out. He had 2 guys miss, but didn't control the football. Phillips gets the fumble. It's at the 35-yard line. First down, Cincinnati.
And Ernest Gibbons talking to himself, pacing the sideline, and there is Lewis Phillips, who is trying to work his way back into the good graces of the coaching staff.
That makes you forget a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Bengals, first down from the 35-yard line. Harold Green is stacked up. Harold Green has run so well recently. Monday night against Buffalo, 141 yards on 26 carries. He has become the featured back for the Cincinnati Bengals in his second year out of South Carolina. It'll be a 2nd down and 9. Quick check of the ticker. San Francisco jumping in front of Philadelphia. Atlanta with a 7-0 lead on the Los Angeles Rams. Houston and Cincinnati are scoreless with 5.5 gone by in the first. And Wilhelm's pass over the head of the tight end, Holman.
Lamar Latham was right there, and Wilhelm did a great job. He just throws the ball away. He knows that everybody's covered, has no place to throw the football except out of bounds. Watch Eric now. He's going to look around. He's looking downfield first. Now he's just going to dump it out to the outside, throws the ball away. There is heat on him. No question about that, but he gets the ball away. That's Sean Jones.
Eric Wilhelm holds virtually every passing record at Oregon State and in the Pac-10. He broke many of John Elway's marks. Took a deep drop, and it is deflected and goes incomplete. Mike Dumas had a shot. The pass intended for Eddie Brown, and a penalty marker is down.
Oh, and McGee, it's against Cincinnati, so it wouldn't have made any difference. But McGee is another. The ball almost bounced in his hand. He'd been gone.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 78 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Anthony Munoz. Dumas almost makes the interception. 85 is McGee. On the right of the screen, watch this. Here comes the ball. Dumas stayed with it, couldn't make the catch, but it wouldn't have made any difference anyway. They had hands to the face.
And once again, Ernest Gibbons back awaiting the punt from Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson, a one-time Houston Oiler, gets away another beauty.
Let it go.
Well, Gibbons will run it. Try to cut back. Once again, superb coverage by the Bengals, and that will go as a 60-yard punt. An 8-yard return. Leon White with the stop on Ernest Gibbons.
Return, man. Look at Gibbons. Never go beyond the 10-yard line to catch the ball. If he lets the ball go, it goes into the end zone, possibly goes into the end zone. They get it at the 20. Here they have it at the 14. They do not have a return man, kickoff or punt return, in the top 20 in the National Football League.
Jack Pardee telling us that is the one weakness that stands out on the part of the Houston Oilers, the punt return game. Hayward Jeffries on the reception for the first down. Stopped by Lewis Phillips.
Don't try to cover this man one-on-one, and I don't care if it is Phillips Look at Jeffries. He takes Billups to the inside a little bit and then breaks to the outside. He's open. The ball is thrown. He takes his body and blocks it away from Billups. No chance. It'll be second down. But the one thing about the special teams of Houston, let's get this into their coverage teams, kickoff, punt coverage. They're right in the tops of the National Football League. It's the return teams that they have the problem with.
It is marked just short of the first down. It is 2nd and inches. And Pinkett driving toward the marker, stopped by the nose tackle, Tim Crumry. And let's see where they spot it.
You're not too happy, is he? Said, I'd like to have a little bigger hole. Got the first down, but I'd like to have just a little bit bigger hole when I go in there.
Yes, Houston did pick it up. So it's a first down at the 25, and you can see Houston has done very well in first down situations. Alan Pinkett, starting the game once again, has not done it in recent weeks. In fact, his departures have come earlier and earlier for Lorenzo White. And that was knocked down. Alfred Williams got the hand up and got a piece of it. Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator for the Oilers, telling us that he feels Pinkett might be more effective against the Cincinnati schemes this afternoon.
Yeah, we're seeing Alfred Williams here blocking. That's because he's not putting any pressure on Maggs, who is sitting on the outside. He's not trying to rush the passer, not trying to do anything. And when he just stays at the line of scrimmage, the ball was thrown low. He got a chance to tip it.
2nd and 10 from the 25, 7:45 remaining in this first quarter. Cincinnati and Houston, no score off the draw. Pinkett, good second effort getting across the 30-yard line. Alan Pinkett, in his 6th year out of Notre Dame, was stopped by Tim Crumry.
Let's look at Flannery, Bruce Matthews, and Monchuk right in the middle. Bruce Matthews gets an excellent block. Pinkett just follows right off his backside and picks up about 6.
So a third down and 4 from the 31.
Well, one thing that we're talking about Pinkett, though, Marv, is the fact that the game dictates whether he stays in or not. And Lorenzo is a better blocker. They like to have him in for blocking.
And they also like his pass receiving skills, although at Michigan State not noted for his catching ability. Tony Jones, the speedster, getting across the 45, but a flag has been thrown. David Fulcher made the stop. 16 yards if it holds up.
Offside defense. I can do red. Offside defense.
Very well done.
Lined up in the neutral zone, number 96 of the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
First down.
Oh, Red feeling it today.
First down. Tua Tagovailoa. No, you know, that neutral zone, you sit there and watch games, and there are certain officials who will let you cheat a little bit, but they're already setting a precedent in this game. If you get in there, it's going to be called.
It's a first down at the 47. Moon connects once again, this time through Hill. So Moon is now 7 for 9. That goes for 15 yards. Richard Fain able to get Hill out of bounds.
All right, what you're looking at here is Cincinnati is running a blitz, and they're going to send number 27, and I believe he's sitting right in here. They're going to send him up here. What happens then, Marv, is that you end up with single coverage. Here comes Bussey up inside. Takes a long route, never gets there. Pinkett steps up and blocks and gets him, and then you have Drew Hill coming across the field one-on-one on Fain. It's all over. You cannot cover one-on-one.
Crowd felt that the hit was a bit too aggressive, and they were looking for a penalty, so they reacted. Again, the draw play for Pinkett.
Still a contact sport, isn't it?
James Francis made the stop. Richard Fain Saw quite a bit of action last week. He started Monday night against Buffalo, and the coaches felt did get a little rattled last week, and Jim Kelly was looking his way frequently.
Well, they took Fane out of the game, and they put Price in his place, and Price got thrown out of the game for hitting James Lofton, so they had to put Fane back in the game, and that's really tough.
It's a 2nd and 7 at the 34, 8th play of the drive. Again to the ground. Pickett finding the hole. Fulcher with the stop, and Alan Pinkett, running well here in the first quarter, has ripped off 19 more yards.
They ran a play on first down, and Houston rarely runs 2 plays in a row. And this time they just run a direct handoff. Just excellent blocking by the offensive line. And now Pinkett gets through. But Tua Tagovailoa, you really have to give him an awful lot of credit. Here's a defensive lineman, number 96, that ends up downfield 25 yards to make the tackle. That's just good pursuit.
You say that so well. Natu Tua Tagovailoa.
You do the first name, I'll grab the bottom part of it.
Dutch Samoan out of the University of California. 4.5 to go in this first quarter. Houston on the move. Move over the middle. A big hit on Pinkett. Down at the 12, James Francis, number 50, providing that shot on Alan Pinkett.
You're sending a whole bunch of people down. 81 is Ernest Gibbons. Watch this. He goes through the zone, and look at here. He's wide open in the end zone. All you got to do is throw it to him, Warren. They'll send someone in with a message. But what I'm looking at is on the top side is Mitchell Price, number 32, is playing off the defensive end, or the offensive end, Tony Jones. Now he's up on him, but they've been backing off about 10 yards. Here he goes back. Look at this. Look at the room on the outside.
But again, to the ground. Alan Pinkett working the draw, and he has worked it effectively. Tripped up by Marty Bussey.
All on the 6.
Marv, when you look out up here on the top of the screen, here's Jones and here's Price. Now watch how far he starts to drop off. And they're going to give room. Let him throw that outside pass. Price is there. Now he just picks him up as he comes to the line of scrimmage. But Pinkett makes an excellent run. They've got about 2 yards to go. If they don't make it, this is field goal because there are no points on the board.
It's a 3rd down and 2 from the 6. Down to 3 minutes remaining in the scoreless first quarter. Play action, touchdown for Haywood Jeffries. Beautifully set up by a series of draw plays, and then Warren Moon going to the play action and able to connect with Haywood Jeffries, who has come up with his 4th touchdown catch of the season. 11 plays, 86 yards, and it took 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Warren Moon throwing his 12th touchdown of the season. And here is Halfield. So Moon going 9 for 11 to lead this Houston drive. We'll be right back.
Defensive backs right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These 2 are going to blitz, which leaves one-on-one coverage here. Here's Jeffries for the touchdown. Here it comes. It opens up the hole. Look at here. Bang. Moon sees it, reads it. It's touchdown. That's easy.
And Houston has succeeded this year with a more patient short pass approach. They've done it with a number of long distance drives, and that's the case once again here in the first quarter. Len James and Mike Dingle, a rookie out of South Carolina, just activated today, are back, and this is Dingle on the kickoff return. So Cincinnati back to the offense with 2:48 remaining. Ticker 7-0 New Orleans over Chicago. Jim McMahon making his return for the Eagles, throwing a 19-yard touchdown pass play. Atlanta 7-0 over the LA Rams, and a matchup of 1-6 Green Bay and 1-6 Tampa Bay. Cincinnati from its 27 The quarterback is Eric Wilhelm, making his first NFL start. And it's James Brooks, stopped by Al Smith, who has been having an outstanding season.
He really has. Al Smith is just a great linebacker. He's going to be one of the best linebackers in the history of the National Football League. You know why? Because he said I'm his favorite announcer. That's why. And you're in there too.
Well, he apparently, he's playing very well, and he liked the idea. We said nice things about him.
That's right.
Last time we did a Houston game.
Look at Dick LeBeau's trying to diagram all this stuff now and just try to get some double coverage somewhere, especially on Jeffries.
Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Pass intended for Brooks. Marcus Robertson, the rookie from Iowa State, on the coverage.
The reason that ball was a little bit short, you're talking about a young quarterback, Wilhelm, that's throwing the ball, and had he thrown it a little bit sooner, Brooks would have been there. His timing is not there yet. And that comes with playing.
Well, the Bengals, to this point, and this is their third possession. Over the first two, it's been 3 plays and a punt. It's a 3rd down and 8 from the 29 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inside handoff for Brooks, and he is short, well short of the first down. Ray Childress combining with Sean Jones to make the tackle.
I think if this game were being played in Cincinnati, that play would have been booed early in the ball game. In Cincinnati, looking at it, Marv, they've had excellent field position so far. Here's Sam Weiss on the sideline. He's watching this play, and we'll see what his reaction is. Oops.
Little bit on the reserve side here today.
Well, yeah, it is, but his lips still move.
Yes. And here's Givens back. Lee Johnson got off his season high in his last attempt, went 60 yards, and it is another good one. The return by Givens. Look out. A beautiful punt return by Ernest Givens, run out by Fernandez Vincent. He took it 29 yards following the 52-yard punt. Did he go to the wrong bench?
Well, he just sit down over there for a while, and the referee says, Ernest, would you please go on the other side? He shakes 2 guys on this replay, but then he's going to outrun number 51, Leon White. He still has the speed. Watch this. He dumps one here. Another here. Now watch. That was the backup quarterback, Holliston. He does. C-51. Look at White. He can't get there. Givens has the speed to get back to the outside, and then he's tackled by Vincent. Just a super run. And a quarterback down on the punt team.
Yes, Don Hollis, who is the backup to Eric Wilhelm out of Rice University, has been playing special teams. He was a safety at the start of his collegiate career. Terrific all-around athlete. Lorenzo White in the backfield for the first time is hit back behind the line by Alfred Williams. Getting back to the subject of Givens, he was telling us yesterday his philosophy is on punt returns that he wants to score. He does not believe in fair catching. Says last week, though, returning punts and playing his position did take quite a bit out of him.
It really does. Now, you think about the run he just made there. Now he's eliminated almost from this series of downs. That hurts the offense. But let's go back to it. Houston has so many wide receivers, sometimes it doesn't make any difference. And their feature receivers, it is Jeffrey.
It's a 2nd and 17. Back at the 39. Houston 7 and Cincinnati nothing. Hill wide open.
I do not blame Thomas and Fulcher, 22 and 33, for this touchdown pass. Number one, Moon could have run for 25 yards if he wanted to. But Hill kept going to the end zone when he saw Moon had all of that room, and the defensive backs were down at the 25-yard line. there's only so long you can cover a player, and Hill got behind him for the touchdown.
A 61-yard touchdown pass play. The extra point was missed.
This happened in the Jet game. Didn't they miss one there, too?
That was after a penalty.
Yeah, well, what difference does it make?
Deeper kick. And that is the third missed conversion by Ian Howfield, the first-year player from Tennessee, who has at times thrown some knuckleballs. So it's a Houston 13-0 lead on Cincinnati with time winding down in this first quarter.
Watch how much time Moon has when he goes to his left here. He could run the ball for 25 yards, but he sees downfield. You see Thomas and Fulcher 33 and 22. All Hill did was break to the end zone. Once he did that, they were already beaten. Moon just lays the ball out. That was easy.
And Moon with his 13th touchdown pass of the season. Hill catches his second. Moon is now 10 for 12, 158 yards. So much for the contract distraction.
Well, he's got his agent and his attorney working on it. Moon's working on getting his team to the Super Bowl.
Well, the second half of our doubleheader will feature Pittsburgh playing the Browns in Cleveland, Denver at New England, San Diego at Seattle. We suggest you check your local listings. That'll be coming up following Cincinnati and Houston. And the Oilers now lead by the score of 13-0. James and Dingle are back. Excellent kick, and Dingle will stay right there. Mike Dingle, an 8th-round draft pick. He was a holdout. Activated for today out of South Carolina. New Orleans with that 7-0 lead. San Francisco and Philadelphia remain tied at 7. And it's now Green Bay 10-0 over Tampa Bay.
That always amazes me, the kickoff man, and the same guy to kick the extra point can kick the ball 70 yards in the end zone with no return, but can't kick a ball 19 yards through the goalpost. Scary. Yeah, it could be the holder, it could be the center, it could be the weather.
Well, a little different type of pressure to be accurate.
He's kicking into the air conditioning.
Yeah.
That could bother him a little bit.
Very nice call.
Thank you so much.
Down from the 20-yard line. And it is incomplete. The pass intended for the tight end Eric Canis, and a penalty marker is down.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, number 84, 5 yards, still first down. The clock should read 14 seconds.
That's going to be refused.
14 seconds.
Not only are you have a false start, but you drop the ball. I mean, the ball hit him in the hands. When you have a young quarterback, you've got to catch everything. Make a concerted effort to catch everything. Don't try too hard. Just do what's natural. Caddis comes across. First of all, he's in motion. He feels as bad as anybody does. But then drop the ball on top of it.
What hurt Eric Wilhelm early was that drop pass by a wide-open Eddie Brown, and Wilhelm is now 2 for 6 for only 13 yards.
Yeah, that really does hurt Brown if he had the concentration, but the hand was up in the air. Bo Orlando blocked the view of the ball. I can understand that.
It's a first down and 15 from the 15. And Wilhelm is picked off. Lamar Latham on the interception. That pass intended for Eddie Brown.
Well, any one of 3 Boilers could intercept this pass. Latham is one of them, but Marcus Robinson is also there. Here's Latham. Bang, he's there. 31 was there, and also, I don't know if it was 29 Lewis or not, but there were 3 guys that had a shot at it. We'll be back with the score 13-0 right after this. Don't pay any attention to him, Marv. He doesn't mean anything. But this guy, these 3, any one of the 3 guys here can intercept this ball. Latham comes up with it. Watch this. All 3 of them are there. Latham makes the catch, the interception, and off and running.
Yes, that individual in our telestrator seat.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give him any. He looks good, though, doesn't he?
And Lamar Latham with the second interception of the season, setting up this first down of the 14 as the second quarter gets underway, and Moon fires for the touchdown. Ernest Gibbons beating the rookie Richard Fain. And a penalty marker thrown in the end zone.
Unnecessary shoulder shaking. I think you're not allowed to do that. People want to see it. You know, he's by himself doing it. It's not a group deal.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for demonstration. Number 81.
I think he isn't happy.
5 yards on the kickoff.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. The players don't care. The coaches don't care. And I think the fans want to see it. Not all when you get a group of guys rolling the dice and doing all that junk. But when you have one guy, you're trying to curtail his enthusiasm. You can't do that, man. He is so happy.
Paul, to get the idea this game is getting away from Cincinnati?
No, not yet.
And here is Halfield, who missed his last extra point attempt. This one is good. So Moon is now 11 for 13, 172 yards. And this is third touchdown pass.
Well, and Givens is working on young Mr. Fane, who is getting a lesson. And there it is. Whoa, shake it.
The white zone is for immediate.
Astrodome in Houston. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire and a 20-0 lead for the Houston Oilers. The kickoff by Halfield with James and Dingle back. And once again, it's Mike Dingle. Tripped up, and a flag has been thrown. Mike Dumas, number 38, making the stop. Rookie from Indiana, second-round draft pick. Here's another look at that last Warren Moon touchdown pass.
Givens is in the slot, and just look at Fane is there, the rookie. Now watch, you know, when he does this shaking here, if I ever did that, I think my head would fall off. I really do. I could never do that. That looks good, though. Looks good.
Givens with his second touchdown catch of the season, and as we mentioned, a penalty marker thrown.
There are so many weapons on this team.
Well, the call against Cincinnati, illegal block call. They move it back to the 9-yard line, and here goes Eric Wilhelm back to work, and it has been a struggle. 2 for 7, 13 yards, 1 interception. The interception by Latham setting up that last touchdown. Green is collared back behind the line. He's gang tackled. Harold Green could not make the turn.
William Fuller made the tackle, and then Bubba McDowell just finished it off. Fuller was there. You cannot get conservative because you're 20 points down and decide you're going to run against this team because they're up on that line of scrimmage and they're coming. And this is what Cincinnati would like to do, is control the clock, control the ball. But you got to do that when you're ahead, not when you're behind. You've got to come out and go after these guys.
We are early second quarter. Cincinnati yet to collect a first down.
There he is.
And Wilhelm has Brown, and that is the first down of the game for Cincinnati. Eddie Brown has made it back from a separated shoulder, going for 28 yards, covered by Bo Orlando.
And Dishman was also there, but, you know, Brown coming up. There's McGee coming here, and then Brown breaking to the outside again. That's Dishman, 28, 26 is Orlando. But like I said, don't get conservative. Let the young man go ahead. He's going to take some lumps, but let him throw the ball. He's got a good arm. He's got to learn. They're looking at you to run, being a little more conservative. Go ahead and throw the football. Can't hurt anything.
Coming into today, Eric Wilhelm, 12 for 18, 111 yards. He threw only 19 passes last season in a mop-up role for Boomer Esiason. Off the play action. Again, the short peg, Tim McGee. Covered by Bubba McDowell. Eric Wilhelm, like Boomer, is a southpaw. You know, up until you got the idea hours before today's game, the Houston Oilers still did not believe that they wouldn't see Boomer Esiason. They thought the Bengals were pulling a fast one on them.
You know, we talked to Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator of Houston, and he said, and until yesterday morning, that man right there was the first time that the Houston Oilers defense saw film of Wilhelm. Now, there isn't a whole lot of it anyway.
It is rare.
Yeah, it's rare. Vintage. But they were convinced that Boomer was going to play.
Second down and 5 from the 44. And a timeout taken by Wilhelm. As we mentioned, though, on NFL Live, Eric Wilhelm is a well-regarded prospect. And we're not talking about, even though he's making his first NFL start, a rookie. He has seen action. Of course, he's taken snaps during the course of practice sessions during the week. However, and there is Boomer sitting out with the shoulder injury. However, when you're making your first NFL start against one of the top defensive units in the NFL, that can rattle you.
And especially when it's 0-7. And we'll get back to Eric in a moment.
Well, tonight does. Is that a home there for you? I believe it's a summer home. Wilhelm on the run and has the first down, and the ball is not free. And let's see what the ruling is.
No, sir. No, sir. He's down. They'll review it, and they'll give it back to Cincinnati. And they better, or he's going to explode. He's down.
The recovery was made by Lamar Lathan.
Oh, he's down. Watch this. He goes down. Here's his knee is on the ground. See his knee here? Wait, the ball's coming out underneath him. I thought the ball popped out from his arms, but they look like they may give this ball back. The ball is underneath him. The question is now, do they determine if his knee is down? If his knee is down, can't be fumble.
The replay official is Cal Lepore.
That angle there does not show it either. I know you're going to look at it. Everybody's talking about it. Let's see this one. Here's the ball. See, it doesn't look like he was hit when he dropped the ball.
The play is ruled as a fumble and a recovery by Houston. The play is being reviewed.
I love this. This is my favorite. The terminology of the National Football League officials has gotten so great. It's like, all right, we ruled it fumble here on the field. Okay? Now we're going to throw it up to Cal Lepore. Let you figure it out. Because we're already covered down here. See, the thing I'm looking at now is his knee. The ball is in his hand. He just drops the ball. Right there. The ball is out. That's before Latham ever hits him. He drops the ball when he was switching hands. So that is fumble.
So
it's got to stay.
After your further review.
By the replay official, the play stands.
That's
First
right.
down.
After my further review.
So Paul doing a 360 after getting a look.
Hey, I got to go with the officials. No, I was always in their corner.
No, wait a second. You first thought that it should be a fumble, was dead, but you looked at the replay and you agree.
I agree.
Okay.
You?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's clear cut when you see the replay.
Makes me happy.
All right, first down at the 47 as Houston takes over. Would have been a terrific play by Drew Hill, who was able to funnel through the deflection. It was almost intercepted by Ricky Dixon, and Hill is shaken up. 35-year-old Drew Hill in his 12th year out of Georgia Tech, following it through the hands of Dixon, and then took the pop. Took a pretty good shot from Dixon. We'll be back in a moment. And it is a 2nd and 10 now from the 47-yard line as Moon is able to complete right at the marker to Haywood Jeffries, stopped by Mitchell Price. Correction on that last play in which Drew Hill took the pop and Neely was able to make the catch. It went through the hands of Barney Bussey. And then Ricky Dixon with the good hit on Hill, who was shaken up but is all right. Let's check out the Cannon 10-minute ticker. New Orleans 7-0 in the second over Chicago. 49ers and Eagles tied at 7. Atlanta now 14-0 in the second, and Green Bay 13-0 over Tampa Bay. It is a 3rd down and 1 at the 44. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And Lorenzo White has a first down. It's a 20-0 Houston Oilers lead, sparked by Warren Moon, who has thrown for 3 touchdowns.
So one thing about Cincinnati, when it's third and short yardage for the Houston Oilers, Cincinnati will line up with 6 defensive backs, and they'll get off the line of scrimmage because they always think pass first, because it's not necessarily a running down, even though they ran the ball to Lorenzo White that time. Cincinnati has to think pass first and run second.
Moon is now 12 for 15, 178 yards. Lone deep back is White. And it's completed to Curtis Duncan for just a short pickup. Ricky Dixon, the free safety, making the stop. A reminder, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be presenting the Avis We Try Harder Award, which will be given to the game's most valuable player. 2nd down and 7 at the 39 for the Houston Oilers, who last Sunday defeated the Dolphins 17-13 in Miami. Had a tough time. Game that saw 7 turnovers in the second quarter. Not a good one for either quarterback, Dan Marino or Warren Moon. Houston's offense struggled, but the defense played well again. Came up with big plays led by Chris Dishman. Did it again, coming up with yet another turnover. Moon with the sideline pass incomplete. Duncan, the intended receiver, receiving coverage from Dixon and Bussey.
Well, what Moon is doing, this is the second one in a row to Duncan. Take a look at the bottom of the screen. You see this one single back out here. Here comes Duncan. Now he's working on Dixon, getting help from Bussey, number 27. The pass was there. Duncan just didn't catch it. That's what Moon is trying to do. Find the single man, the one to the one side, if there's one-on-one coverage. That time there was. He threw it, just didn't catch the ball.
3rd down and 7 at the 39. Moon has thrown touchdown passes to Jeffries, Hill, and Givens. Again goes sideline with Curtis Duncan and has the 1st down. So Duncan, operating against the free safety Ricky Dixon, picks up 14.
What a beautiful comeback by Duncan. 29 is Dixon. Watch this comeback. Now watch how Duncan comes back to the ball. You see him come back. He goes almost to the 20-yard line, but he comes back to the 26-yard line. There's Moon's reaction. They had a blitz on. Didn't do any good. But Duncan coming back to the ball, he's the only one that can catch it.
Houston has a 1st down at the 26.
Now what? They're looking to see if he had control of the ball.
Field play is ruled as a catch. It's being reviewed.
That's what you got. Does he have control? Here comes the ball to Duncan. Bang, and catches the ball. Oh, he's in. But I don't understand. When he hits the ground, remember now, the ground cannot cause the fumble. Here's the angle. He has the ball. The ball hits the ground. This is a catch.
Red Cashin looking disgusted, annoyed that he went to the replay.
Well, he doesn't like that. Red wants to get on with the game. You know, there's 9:54 remaining in the second quarter, and we've already had a game that's an hour long.
Calling a review by the replay official. The play stands. 1st down.
That's right. 1st down.
So the Oilers' 1st down at the 26. 5 minutes gone by in this second quarter. Houston with its 10th 1st down of this first half. 81 Givens in motion. Penalty marker tossed. Moon goes incomplete.
Throw it away. I just wonder why Tua Tagovailoa got there so soon. Well, they're outside. I don't know if it was him.
Offside, number 96 on the defense. Still 1st down.
That'll get you there early, but also get you a flag. Okay, number 96. Here he's offside. Now Tua Tagovailoa, Netu Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. I got to get them all together. Netu Tua Tagovailoa is offside. That's
Paul,
right. That's tough.
You have mastered it.
No, I haven't. I had Frank Maliuna. I had him down in Kansas City, but this is going to be a little tough.
It is a 1st and 5 at the 21. marching to the 15-yard line. Lorenzo White stopped by David Grant and Tua Tagovailoa. And he has moved the chains.
Again, you know, when you look at Houston, it's hard for them to take time off the clock. This is a running game with Lorenzo White, number 44. But they also know when Moon comes to the line of scrimmage and he sees one-on-one coverage on the outside or even on the inside, he knows his people can beat him. Now, you got Jeffries on the top side, and he's being covered by Mitchell Price all by himself. You've got to go over there.
First down at the 15. Moon again completes down at the 10-yard line to Hayward Jeffries. And word between the Bengals and the Oilers. That was David Fulcher in the discussion with Jeffries.
See, that's what I'm saying. When Moon comes to the line of scrimmage and he looks, he's got a single receiver on the outside, Jeffries. Now, it's nothing to do with Mitchell Price being out there, but he's by himself. Take a look on the top side. When he looks over there, bang, he's going to go to Jeffries, even though it's only a 5-yard gain. If he breaks the tackle, it's a touchdown. But it is a 5-yard gain. It's like a running play.
Second down, 5 on the 10.
Fourth catch of the day for Jeffries. That's 48 for the season. He leads the NFL. He has become the number 1 receiver for Warren Moon. Moon could not find anyone. And a flag throw as Gibbons has the first down inside the 5. Stopped by David Fulcher.
There's a flag thrown at the offensive line, which either is beyond the line of scrimmage or holding. Well, it's legal use of the hands by the offense. But this was thrown towards the middle of the line, and Moon had some scrambling time and then finds Ernest Gibbons coming across the middle, but this is going to come back.
Pass interference. Number 81 on the offense. 10 yards. Still second down.
Now we know why he was open. He pushed off coming across, and they caught him.
Mitchell Price shaken up. Mitchell Price had been out for a while with a knee injury, a 9th-round draft pick last year out of Tulane, a major surprise. Hails from San Antonio, Texas. When we resume, it will be a 2nd and 15 at the 20-yard line. We were talking yesterday about the effectiveness of Hayward Jeffries in a discussion with Warren Moon, and Warren saying that Hayward adjusts to the ball in the air better than anyone that he's ever seen. He says Hayward has great leaping ability, able to make the catch at the highest point. Moon said that defenders seem to miscalculate that Jeffries can leap as high as he does.
And they have him listed as 6'2", and we know that, you know, you're 6'4", and he's taller than you are.
Right.
So we know that he's got to be more than 6'2". You know, when I look at him, I'm looking down there, and you know, receivers should wear thigh pads. He doesn't have any on. And you get hit in there, and I remember teams, and I still think that they do that. If you don't wear all prescribed equipment and you get hurt, they don't have to pay you.
That was only in your contract.
Yeah, look at, see, you don't see any thigh pads on Jeffries.
It's a 2nd and 15 at the 20. Moon is now 15 for 19, 202 yards. And we're only 8 minutes into the second quarter. Again, a sideline pattern. Drew Hill on the reception. He was covered by Richard Fain.
Well, when you have all day, Marv, like Moon has, and they're not, this is not really a greedy football team. He spreads it around. Watch what Moon does here. He goes out. He's got Lorenzo White in front of him. He's just throwing a 10-yard pattern. Just to get, let's get the penalty back. Now let's work on the next play and pick up the first down or the touchdown.
It's a 3rd and 6 down at the 11.
Only one other team better. That little red dot, those are sacks allowed by Houston since 1986. Washington Redskins, they only have 4, but Moon, actually Moon's only been sacked 6 times out of that 7.
The other sack is on Cody Carlson. Moon again getting, now he's hauled down. Thought he had the time. It's Tim Krumrie with his second sack of the season.
You can get a little too confident, Marv. I mean, Moon has had all day to throw the ball. And that time, if you put the clock on him, it's about 6 or 7 seconds. Watch this. 69 is Crumry. Now watch what he does. He just keeps fighting and fighting and fighting, and finally gets through Matthews and makes the tackle. But Moon, you test it a little bit too long, and sometimes it's going to backfire on you. It did then. And here comes Mr. Excitement, Houfield.
Yes, Ian Houfield with a 33-yard attempt. Last year, Cincinnati last in the NFL with 25 sacks. And this season coming into today, only 6 in 7 games. And no question about it, 33-yard field goal by Houfield. So it's Houston now up by the score, 23-0. Here now, 7-3 New Orleans over Chicago. San Francisco and Philadelphia remain tied at 7. Atlanta in the second, up 14-0 in Green Bay, 13-0 over Tampa Bay. Dingle and James are back for the kickoff. Houston leading Cincinnati now 23-0. Cincinnati's last win over Houston here in the Astrodome, October of 1984. So the Oilers have won the last 6 here against the Bengals in the earlier meeting, second week of the season. Houston breaking open the game in the fourth quarter. Lynn James on the return. And a penalty marker is down. Back in week 2, Houston beat Cincinnati 30-7 at Riverfront. Houston had led 6-0 at halftime, only 13-7 after 3 quarters.
Personal foul. You see James going to the outside, and he's being smashed by number 24, who's Steve Jackson, reserve quarterback. Guy's trying to get out of bounds. Once they're out of bounds, don't hit him.
All right, Paul, here now our Xerox Sports Facts question. Here it is for you. Who is the all-time leading scorer for the Houston Oilers? Now, don't give an answer. We want the folks at home to mull it over. And we will provide.
I was going to give it.
Answer.
I was going to give it.
And first down at the 41 for Eric Wilhelm and the Bengals. First 5 possessions, Cincinnati. Oh, and Wilhelm came stumbling away, and it is incomplete. First 5 possessions by Cincinnati, producing only 1 first down. That has been it.
I think, does he get stepped on? Usually when you come out like that, he does. He gets stepped on by the left guard, Reimers, number 75. Just steps on his foot, and it's tough when you got somebody 300 pounds stepping on your foot. Then you're trying to throw the ball, stumbling backwards. That's hard to do.
Well, this start by Eric Wilhelm may mirror his first ever start in college. He was telling us about it yesterday. It was not a happy memory at the start, but it got better. Case here today does not show that kind of promise. Eddie Brown, the intended receiver. And here is the answer, Paul, to the Xerox Sports Facts question.
I know
all-time leading scorer for the Oilers, George Blanda, 596 points.
As a quarterback, sneaking, kicking field goals, extra points, did it all. Terrific offense.
All
Take your money.
With the complete profile.
That's right.
A third down at the 41. 3rd and 10. With 5.5 to go in the first half. And Wilhelm able to complete, and Cincinnati has its second first down. Mike Barber on the reception. Eric was telling us that he recalls his first start in college at Oregon State against heavy underdog Idaho. He was a redshirt freshman, and he heard the boos early with Oregon State down 16-0. In fact, they were chanting for a quarterback who had left school, wasn't even on campus.
Then you know you're not popular.
No, and he began to wonder what's going on, but then he settled down through 4 touchdowns, and Oregon State went on to the win. But this one here has been all Houston, and he's facing a bit of more of a test here against the Houston Oilers. Again, a short clip. And will that be ruled a catch and a fumble? Tim McGee not able to hang on. Let's see. Al Smith on the recovery for Houston.
Subject to replay. But McGee's not even questioning this. He throws the outside, number 85, McGee. Here comes Dishman up to hit.
Yep.
Also Meads. And that's fumble. Now, Meads comes in. I think the fumble was made by, the hit was made by Dishman, was the fumble. And there's Al Smith. He has the ball, but he's sitting out of bounds.
So another Cincinnati turnover, and Chris Dishman has done it again, causing a turnover for the 7th straight game.
And we'll give that one to Dishman because he made the initial hit and the ball was coming out. Now here's Al Smith is with the recover the fumble. He's out of bounds.
On the field, the play is ruled as a catch by the offense, then a fumble, a recovery by the defense. The play is being reviewed.
You can't recover the fumble out of bounds. That would be the offense's ball.
Sam Weish continues in his low-key fashion for today, coming off the theatrics Monday night in the game in Buffalo.
Yeah, but see, when I'm looking, I don't know if he read that article in the paper that Paul Tagliabue is going to start fining some people. He's already fined one person. I would imagine that would probably be Marv Levy of the Buffalo Bills for his Monday night deal in Kansas City. But the question is, if this ball is recovered out of bounds, that should be Cincinnati's ball there. I don't think there's any question it's a catch and a fumble. Don't think that that's what they're looking at. But again, I could be wrong. I have never been, but
yes.
I could be.
Now, you've been on target the past couple of weeks, Paul.
Well, a lot of rest.
And there is Al Smith, leads the Oilers in tackles. Solid player, always around the ball, as we have seen here in the first half. You know, that last Cincinnati snap was the first snap.
Bounds. It'll be Cincinnati's ball. Second down on the 45.
Well, now. And that takes it away from Dishman, who caused the turnover. Jack's not happy. I got to give Dave Lapham, who is the announcer for the Cincinnati Bengal radio, credit for this one. He said, I asked about Cincinnati. He said they've shot themselves in the foot so many times they don't have any toes left. Yes. I think it's terrific.
I'm also glad you deflected that one elsewhere.
What a great line. Now the question is, where do you mark the ball?
Well, it appears it will be second down and 7 at the 45. This is Cincinnati's deepest penetration of the day. Houston 23 and Cincinnati nothing.
I mean, I don't know whether, do you mark the ball there? I'm confused, but they're looking because he's touching the ball out of bounds downfield. Why wouldn't the ball be down there? The only thing that I can think of, you cannot advance a fumble on offense forward.
Well, Red Cashin will clear it all up for us.
Sam's happy. Look at one more letter he doesn't have to write.
Yes, Sam very active during the week in providing his views to the league office. Looks like they're setting the clock back. Crowd is reacting to Houston and Cincinnati players as they are seen on the video screen.
Look at that guy there.
Sam Weish now being shown and hearing it from the crowd, and then Jack Pardee receives the cheers.
The clock should read 3:56.
They put one coach up and they boo him. Pardee up and they cheer him.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. This can go on all day. Watch him. Here comes the booze. Oh, they're doing it. There he is. Ooh. Hey, now there's Party's up on the screen here. They cheer him. That's good.
What power on the part of the director of the video screen controlling this crowd. And now we're set to pick it up. And it's Bruce for nothing. Doug Smith and Ray Childress combining to make the stop, so it will be a third down play coming up.
I just looked at Wilhelm, and I know it's getting difficult, but it looked like when he went underneath center, he went under Reimers, the guard, and then moved over underneath the center, Kazerski. First of all, here comes Wilhelm here. Now there's Reimers, see that? And then he moves over under the center, went under the guard. I can understand getting a little confused. So all those rear ends are different.
Yes. And you've studied them very closely, I know. It's a third down and 8. And Wilhelm able to complete to Eddie Brown, who has a first down. Marcus Robertson, the rookie from Iowa State, making the stop.
And that's Doug Smith that's down on the ground, and Wilhelm is actually pointing to the did point to Houston's bench.
Doug Smith bothered earlier this season by knee problem, sprained foot. 7th year out of Auburn. 2:36 remaining in this first half.
The white zone is for immediate.
We didn't design the new Mazda MX-3 to be like apple pie.
All right, Doug Smith, here he is here. He's going to fall down, and actually, Wilhelm, he's going to hit him. Wilhelm's back here in the back somewhere, but he's going to step up, and when he steps up, you're going to see Doug Smith hit him. But somebody, either he twists his ankle right there, it's his left leg. He gets a hit on the quarterback. There's actually 4 guys that are back there. Nice play by the quarterback.
And Brooks, the ball carrier. Bubba McDowell making the stop. Jeff Alm, second-year man out of Notre Dame, replacing Doug Smith. There is Doug, who's known as a strong hand fighter down in the trenches. Very physical player. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Houston 23 and Cincinnati nothing. Today, I should point out, got to the Astrodome late as he set back his clock an hour and 20 minutes. Paul,
we do
doesn't
that
work like that.
We do in Buffalo. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Well, for the farmers, they get extra time.
Nice. This game is being seen.
That's all right. They understand. People understand. I live in Eden. I don't live in Buffalo.
Now, when you were a member of the Buffalo Bills, you can certainly relate to the problems that the Bengals have had. Didn't your club at one time go 1 up and 13 down?
Yeah, but we were really bad. I mean, this is not a bad football team, even though they're 0-7 coming in the game. We were terrible, and I don't know why we won the one game. That's how bad we were. This team is again, has had so many things happen to them. And if you go back and look at their record and look at the games that they've played in, I mean, it doesn't start until about the 4th quarter. This one started early, and one other game started earlier. But basically, they've been in most of their games.
But still, they are 0-7, and they have played a very difficult schedule. Their opponents have combined for a record of 37 and 14. But the pattern continues with this team. They have a good year, and then they have a so-so, or in this case, a bad season.
Yeah, they're blaming. They try to find someone to blame it on, and they're blaming it on Sam Weish. And you have injuries. You have a lot of things that happen to you. And this guy here just got off of a bus that was going in the wrong direction. But, you know, Sam is going to be here at the end of the year and possibly be with the Cincinnati Bengals next year. I don't see him firing Sam Weish.
Yeah, there is the feeling that would not take place. He has been under fire. He says he has never considered calling it quits. 2nd down and 8 at the 35. And if you have 2 more years on your contract, I could understand where you would not walk away from it, even if you would want to.
No, just open up another bank account and move it over. Yeah, it'll be fine.
McGee, the intended receiver. And it will be a 3rd down and 8 at the 35-yard line. But Sam has been on the quiet side along the sideline here today, in contrast to what has usually taken place. Boomer Esiason says of Sam Weich's sideline eruptions, what you're seeing is all of our frustration building up inside of Sam Weish. Made by James Brooks, but short of the first down. Marcus Robertson was right there.
I think one of the things that Sam even said to us yesterday, and you get the feeling when you watch Sam Weiss that, and here's the situation, you're 0-7, you don't punt the ball here. Well, they're going to try a field goal. They got Breach coming out. But the one thing about Sam is that I think that he took offense to is the fact that people said that he has lost control of the team. He might have lost control himself a couple of times, but he has not lost control of his football team, and that you get from the players.
And this will be a 50-yard attempt by Breach. Now, last week, Lee Johnson connected from 53. Breach trying from 50. Hit the upright.
That was almost there, but you know, there is a question. Well, you're inside now. Last week they were outside, and the wind has a difference on it. But here they figure Breach can make it, and Johnson's the one that made it last week. But look at this ball. It looks like it may have enough to come back in, but it just hits the upright. It had enough distance because it hit enough up on that pole. He just wanted to get something on the board for this team when he went at halftime and say, hey, look, we did score. Let's go back out there. It's not as bad. It is bad, but it's not as bad as it looked.
Yes, Lee Johnson is usually the man that Cincinnati would look to for long-range attempts. And he did connect from 53 against Buffalo on Monday night. So Houston takes over from the 33-yard line. And Moon throws deep. Just threw it away. Jeffries in the area. Let's check out the Cannon 10-minute ticker. Couple of field goals by Butler. So New Orleans now up 7-6. San Francisco on a touchdown short run by Tom Rathman taking the lead. Atlanta extending 21-0 at halftime, and Green Bay 13-0 at the half. And the Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime is just ahead, hosted by Bob along with Will, Bill, and OJ, and they'll be taking a close-up look at the New England Patriots head coach Dick McPherson. That is coming up at halftime. 2nd and 10 from the 33. And it is broken up, and let's see, did not pick it off. Pass intended for Jeffries. And the hit by Mitchell Price. Down to 55 seconds remaining in this first half.
Well, Tony Jones goes off, and I'm going to tell you something. He gets drilled by Ricky Dixon right at the line of scrimmage. I didn't think you were allowed to hit him after 5 yards. Obviously, that doesn't come into play anymore. And talking to the receivers, Jeffries a couple of weeks ago, he said it to us. No, they're hitting people all over the field. There's supposed to be a 5-yard rule in there that's really gone out the window.
3rd down and 10 from the 33. Houston 23 and Cincinnati nothing. Moon taking a hard hit, and he is picked off. Ricky Dixon on the interception. What moves by Dixon?
This is Moon is hitting the ball. He's short. Ricky Dixon gets it, but I don't know what Billups was doing. Number 24. If he comes into play here, here's the ball. There's Moon being hit. 24 is Billups. Watch this. What's he doing? Get out of the way. If you're not going to block anybody, get out of my way. And Dixon, now the moves come. Stays in bounds, or did he? Did his left foot hit out of bounds? Givens misses. Moon makes the tackle. Nice tackle by Ward. Now, I think what they're going to do is take a look and see if his left foot went out of bounds right about here. That's where it looked like it might have gone out of bounds. That wouldn't overturn it. The other replay we had would not overturn it. All right, here it is here. Now, does he step out of bounds there? That will not overturn it. Believe me, it looks like he's in bounds. But this is a super run. Don't change it. Give him all the yardage. He deserves it.
Replay official is checking the sideline.
Well, if it holds up, it will go as a 48-yard run on the interception for Dixon, his 2nd interception
Following a review
of
by
the season.
Replay official, the play stands. First down.
All right.
Now, do you question the play calling? I mean, you got under 2 minutes to go. You're up 23-0. And all you got to do is sit on the ball and go on into the halftime. But Moon ends up throwing 3 straight passes, and they're all incomplete. 2 of them, one was almost intercepted. The other one was intercepted.
Yes, you could question the play calling.
I do.
It's a first down at the 14-yard line. Wilhelm throwing for the end zone. And a penalty marker down. Reggie Rembert, the intended receiver. Rembert had 3 catches Monday night against Buffalo that tripled his previous total.
Offensive pass interference against Rembert. All right, he's sitting out here with Darrell Lewis, number 29, and watch here. Here's Rembert. He's looking at the ball. He's looking at the ball. Boy, I'll tell you what.
Pass interference. Number 88.
That is really close. I don't know, because Lewis didn't seem to be. I want to see it from this side. Here's where they're going to push up. The left arm. Now, does he push him off? It looks, I mean, that's only a touch if it's anything. But the official happens to be standing right there. And if he's there, he sees it. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Darrell Lewis starting for the injured Richard Johnson today at right corner, sitting out with a knee problem. And Wilhelm just had to get it away. Doug Smith with the big rush.
I would like to see a flag somewhere on the field. I really would. I mean, it would be nice to see a flag. The whistle blew. I know it has to stop. But I don't really see a flag. You know why? Because there was nothing wrong with the play. The center did center the ball. The offensive line never moved. The offensive line did not move. Watch the offensive line. Doug Smith moves first. There's Reimers just standing there. They don't move. It looked like it should have been offside, but once the center centers the ball, the defense goes. Good play by Smith.
30 seconds to go in the half. Second down and 20 from the 24-yard line. And it's Brooks getting inside the 20. And Wilhelm asking for a timeout. 23 seconds to go in this first half. And Houston in front of Cincinnati, 23-0 on 3 touchdown passes thrown by Warren Moon.
Well, that last play was strange, though. It did look like offside by Smith, and I didn't see any flags anywhere. I said I'd like to see a flag, but the center centered the ball.
Well, coming up following Houston and Cincinnati, it'll be game 2 of our NFL doubleheader, and many of you will see the Steelers go up against the Browns. Others will get a look at John Elway and the Denver Broncos playing the New England Patriots up in Foxborough. Quarter Moon on a 14-yard pass play to Ernest Gibbons, set up by the Lathan interception, and Halfield connected on a 33-yard field goal. Pop fly tossed by Wilhelm, and a flag thrown in the end zone. Again, the pass intended for Reggie Rembert.
I don't know if Darrell Lewis was holding him or not, but there's where the flag is. Was thrown right in the same area of Rembert and Darrell Lewis, number 29, and they're going to call holding. But Rembert had no idea where he was going. It's pass interference. They're going to put the ball down there, but Rembert really didn't know where he was going. The ball was thrown to the corner of the end zone, and Rembert stopped at the goal line. He didn't go anywhere. Watch this. Here's Darrell Lewis.
Number 29.
Here it is. He's there. Now Rembert, he can't even see the ball. The ball's behind him. Look at this. Now he finally picks it up. He wasn't even in the area of the ball.
Bengals looking for Reggie Rembert down at the goal line. Reggie coming off a disappointing rookie year after the Jets gave up on him. He had been a holdout. Spent last year on injured reserve with a pulled hamstring. And again, a timeout has been taken, this time by Houston. So Cincinnati with 1 timeout remaining. Houston has 2. It will be a first and goal down at the 4.
Houston knows that Cincinnati, I mean, they have 1 timeout, so they could possibly run the ball, but you're at the 4-yard line. If you throw the ball, you could possibly get three pass plays in. Houston didn't have the personnel that they wanted.
And now set for the first and goal down at the 4. Brooks finding the hole. And he is stopped Once again, timeout called by Cincinnati. Lamar Latham and Bubba McDowell combining. So the Bengals
Slap on it. You bring it up underneath, and it buttons or snaps on, so the jersey won't come out. So he's saying, if I get it, intercept the pass, pick up a fumble, go for a touchdown, I want to look good.
Second and goal from the 2. Wilhelm, incomplete. The intended receiver was Mike Barber.
The coverage was excellent. Now they're going to kick a field goal. See, I didn't think they would run a play on first down, which they did to Brooks. They ran a play. So they had to use their timeout. Took 4 seconds off the clock. Now you come back and you throw a pass. If the quarterback is sacked, you don't get the field goal team on, but he wasn't. But the ball's incomplete. So now, instead of having at least 3 pass plays, you only have time for 1 because the running play didn't work.
And this will be a 20-yard attempt. Breach 9 for 11 for the season. He missed that 50-yarder earlier that hit the upright, but this one is right through as time runs down in the first half. So the Bengals get on the scoreboard with 6 seconds remaining. They now trail by the score of 23-3.
All right, question.
And they put it on the ground. Some confusion amongst the Oilers. It is finally covered up.
Flannery, 55.
And John Flannery, who normally is an offensive lineman, the starting right guard, able to hold on.
Did you see Flannery goes back to get the ball and he knocked his guys away? There they are.
All right, coming up at halftime.
There's some foursome.
There's 3 seconds remaining in the first half. That will conclude matters. Warren Moon, 16 for 23, 211 yards. Oilers will start out from their 8. A look at the Coors Light halftime stats. All Houston. Total yards 242 to 97. Moon opens up by going to the ground. Pinkett has run well today.
Vulture, 33, the first man
So
to get to
Pinkett 7 carries, 44 yards. Eric Thomas making the stop as Alan Pinkett went for 8.
They seem to think here at Houston that it doesn't bother Pinkett and Lorenzo White that they alternate as much. And it's just hard to believe. I know Pinkett starts, Lorenzo comes in and plays. But when you're in an offense like this where they don't run the ball that many times, you'd like to be in there all the time, I would think.
Well, fortunately for the Oilers, you see Pinkett running for the first down marker and picking it up. They have been able to stay away from a controversy. Neither player has complained. Pinkett has been drawing the start, but in recent weeks he has been departing earlier and earlier, and Lorenzo White came in late. He was a holdout and has been very quiet about the fact that he is not starting.
Things are so much easier when you're winning, Marv, than when you're losing. If they were losing, I guarantee you there'd be dissension.
And a first down from the 19-yard line. Moon 16 for 23, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he has Curtis Duncan. Short of the first down.
number 29.
Called out by Ricky Dixon. Ricky Dixon taking over as the starter at free safety when Barney Bussey was injured, and he picked one off in the second quarter.
Look at the room. And you got one-on-one coverage out here. This is like a running play. It really is, but you get a lot more. You get almost 9 yards on the play because you've got Ricky Dixon, number 29, the free safety, covering one-on-one on the outside. He's got to give the ground. Doesn't want to get beat deep. And here he comes lining up again, he's going to be anywhere from 8 to 10 yards off.
It is a 2nd and 1 at the 28. 81 Gibbons lined up in the slot. And it is dropped. And we have not seen that in quite some time from Hayward Jeffries.
We saw it in the first play they threw to him. Remember when he turned his head in the first half? The first half pass they threw to Hayward Jeffries, he dropped the ball because he looked downfield. Now here's the first pass in the second half. Watch his head. Watch his head. bink, he's looking downfield, took his eye off the ball hits him in the chest. You catch the ball with your hands and not with your shoulder pads.
It'll be a third down and 1.
Come back out here. On our set, bottom set.
Is Pinkett spinning. Barney Bussey making the stop, and another Houston first down.
This is it is a throw and catching game on the outside because you're getting Jeffries when he's covered one-on-one. All Moon does is read that, and he'll go there because when they're one-on-one, whether it's the top side or the bottom side, Price will play off as a right corner. He will play off 8 to 10 yards. On the bottom, you're going with a safety, free safety, Ricky Dixon, number 29. He's playing off anywhere from 8 to 10 yards, and you've got to throw the pass.
The Oilers first down at the 33 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Houston 23, Cincinnati 3. Drew Hill backpedals out of bounds, covered by Ricky Dixon. Houston Oilers with a record of 6-1. Their best record since 1975 when they finished at 10-4. That was Bum Phillips' first season as Houston's head coach.
6 yards.
An example of how Warren Moon is spreading it around. He has the Fab Four in there. He's also connected with Tony Jones, but the leading receiver to this point, Drew Hill, with 5 catches for 109 yards.
And I hate to belabor the point, but that first down pass, that 5-yard deal is just like a running play. I mean, it's so easy because they're staying so far off.
2nd and 4 from the 36.
Hey, here it is again.
Has the first down. Duncan making the catch. Hit by Dixon.
Dixon, 29 on the tackle.
You know, it's so scary. When you take a look down here, this is Duncan. And over here is Dixon. Now, when you watch him back off, watch the distance that they give up here. Duncan comes down, stops at the first down marker. Moon throws the ball. There's nobody there but Duncan. It's first down. It's stealing.
5th catch of the day for Duncan, who comes off his best season of the NFL. Career high 66 receptions a year ago, has 31 thus far this season. Inside handoff, and Pinkett for a very short advance.
Let me carry that part of the play one step further. Not this running play, but the play before. Now, if Dixon comes up to hit Duncan, everything is on a read basis here. As soon as Moon sees that, Duncan sees that, Duncan's gone. It's a little hitch and go, and it'll be touchdown. If you see the play right here, now here comes Duncan is going to come off the line of scrimmage. But let me circle this here. If Dixon comes up this way, then Duncan will hitch and he'll go. So there'll be touchdown. So what Duncan has to do is read Dixon, and Dixon has to do is just stay back. Give him the 5, don't give him the 50.
And this is the 9th play of the drive. 2nd down and 8. 81 Gibbons in motion. Moon faked the handoff, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Mitchell Price. A floater that was intended for Ernest Gibbons.
Well, you know, we talked to Moon about this because we saw this happen in the New York Jet game. This is Price. This is a nice interception. 81 is Gibbons. Now, he goes to the outside, but he stops. And Moon overthrows the ball. Does he lose it out of his hand? We don't know that. Or did Gibbons run the wrong place? We don't know that.
In Houston, in the area of 60,000 on hand, and the Oilers with a 23-3 lead on the Bengals. Mitchell Price a moment ago came up with his first interception of the season, and Cincinnati first down at the 40. Here is Harold Lee, who will lose on that play. That's only the 3rd time that he's carried the ball and has yet to pick up plus yardage. The Cincinnati running game, 9 carries for only 24 yards.
And if Green stays to the inside, well, look here, there may be some kind of running room because he's getting a block, but he cuts back to the outside. Dishman is there, hit, almost got his 7th turnover in a row for 7 games. Dishman makes the hit for about a 3-yard loss.
Al Green has led Cincinnati in rushing 3 straight games. James Brooks has not been receiving the ball as he did in past years. And there is Chris Dishman with a turnover now in 7 consecutive games. The pass intended for Lynn James.
That's incredible. I mean, there have been some streaks, but 7 consecutive games, Chris Dishman getting a turnover, whether fumble or interception or causing something. But watch Dishman. He's playing this all the way. He's got interception on his mind. If Rodney Holman doesn't make the tackle, it's touchdown Dishman.
Last week, Dishman recovered Sammy Smith's fumble in the end zone in the final minutes. And he has certainly calmed his game down. Jack Pardee says that he's matured. He says getting married in the off-season helped settle him down. Pardee says Dishman is playing hard and playing smart, and he'll be a candidate for Pro Bowl honors the way he's going.
Oh, no question about it. He's just having a super year.
Houston now operating from the Cincinnati 40 as they exchange interceptions. Moon picked off a moment ago by Price, and now Dishman taking one away from Wilhelm. Gibbons in motion. Complete. So has a first down and more. Eric Thomas on the tackle of Drew Hill as that went for 20.
You know what happens here? Barney Bussey opens this up. And I got to look at the defense. It's on the other side, the Drew Hill. But number 27, Barney Bussey, is not there anymore. He's over way to the right, Marv, because he went out to help on the outside on Tony Jones. Inside, take a look at here. Here is the man I'm talking about, Bussey. Watch what happens to him. He's going to get caught because he has to get to the outside. Once he goes out, look at the middle. The middle is wide open.
And a first down at the 21. Alan Pinkett receiving some running room off right guard, was hit down by Crumry. It'll be a second down and 5. From the 16. Look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Chicago now with a 13-10 lead over New Orleans. San Francisco in front of Philadelphia in the third. Atlanta opening up a 28-0 advantage. And Green Bay 13, Tampa Bay nothing in the third. 7:40 remaining in the third quarter. And a house of pain at the Astrodome in Houston as Pinkett goes to the outside. Tony Jones, who goes all of 5'7", maybe with an excellent block to help Alan Pinkett.
He gets a block on Ricky Dixon, number 29, but Pinkett sets all of this up. Watch him. He's going left, comes back right. Francis there. He can't get to him. But there's Jones. Little Tony Jones puts Dixon on the ground. What a super block.
14 for Pinkett. He has now carried 12 times for 69 yards. I mentioned earlier that Houston offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride, when we asked him what has happened to Alan Pinkett the last few weeks, said, hey, he feels that with Cincinnati's scheme, it could be a perfect day for Pinkett. And he's been a major factor. It's a first and goal down at the 2, and Warren Moon decides to call for a timeout.
Tony Jones with an excellent block on Pinkett's run. He's just a little bitty guy, but Pinkett cutting back. And here comes the block by Jones right there. Takes 2 guys out of the way.
With the timeout, we'll take a break. We'll be back in Houston in a moment. At the 3 off that run by Pinkett. It is a first and goal for Houston, looking to add to the lead. And here's Pinkett. Touchdown.
You know, this is not just a run and shoot offensive line. The run part of it is very good. When you got Flannery and Matthews and Monchuk as the 2 guards in the center, they get the job done. They just come off the line of scrimmage and take Cincinnati in the end zone. Take a look. Flannery's number 55. on Tua Tagovailoa, just takes him out to the outside. Matthews gets a block to the inside, and the natural hole is there, and it's touchdown.
Here's Ian Howfield. Frank Mayatki having difficulty with the snap. And it's picked up by Mitchell Price. And this is just an exercise for Mitchell Price. Can't score on a extra point attempt.
College you can.
However, this is, Paul, the NFL. And Houston with a 29-3 lead. We'll be right back.
To Mayatki, watch this. It's high. Should have caught the ball, but it is high. And then the fun and games begin. It doesn't make any difference.
Mitchell Price got a bit excited as he went the distance, and special teams and linebackers coach Richard Smith not pleased. If there is a problem area, this would be an area of concern, because some of Ian Howfield's field goals and extra points have been of the adventure variety.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, on coverage teams, they're very, very good in the National Football League. It's the return teams that aren't very good.
Lynn James, Mike Dingle are back, and this is Dingle, rookie from South Carolina, and the coverage was well done, led by Steve Jackson. 6:52 to go in the third. And the Houston Oilers now lead 29-3. A look at our primetime lineup starting at 7. Surrounded tonight right here on NBC. Eddie Brown was forced out by Darrell Lewis. Darrell Lewis starting at right corner for Richard Johnson, sidelined by a knee problem. A second down and 8 from the 17-yard line.
Have they thrown the ball to Rodney Holman at all in this ball game? I know they're using him quite a bit as a blocker in that line scheme, but they have not thrown the ball to Rodney Holman. You know, this is a situation where you have defensive backs that are doubling up on your people outside. And Rodney Holman is one of the premier tight ends in the National Football League, or has been. You just think you try to kind of look at him because they're covering him with a linebacker.
And Houston has been very candid about the fact that they feel they could be vulnerable to a tight end. Harold Green getting the call. There are no tight ends on the Oiler roster. Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator, making it clear that he feels they could really be hurt in that department because they cannot line up in practice against tight ends. In fact, in the loss to New England, Marv Cook hurt Houston by making 10 catches.
Yeah, he would like, well, you know, we're talking to him about the keeping one on the taxi squad or on the reserve squad. That's funny. He would give anything.
Just for practice purposes?
Yeah, just for practice purposes. Just keep a tight end around.
Rick Grant, who is a linebacker, usually lines up in practice as a tight end. It is caught by the tight end, Rodney Holman.
Well, I mean, law of averages. Look at Rodney smiling. Hey, they threw the ball to me. I mean, this is a big target, and he's an excellent tight end. Now, here comes Holman outside. Runs off. That's Al Smith, the linebacker. Again, I said they're covering him with a linebacker. That's an awful lot of confidence in a linebacker. But with his agility, not great speed, but tremendous hands.
And Rodney Holman still upset about one particular play that he had in the earlier meeting against Houston. He was stripped by Chris Dishman. That was the key play in the game back in week 2.
Started there, huh, for Dishman?
That's where the turnover streak began. All right, Wilhelm, and able to complete to McGee right near the marker. Stopped by Dishman.
You have no idea the composure of Eric right here. Watch this. Now he's going to get drilled. Fuller's coming in. He just jumps up and gets this ball off, and look where he puts it. Right on the hands of McGee. That is an excellent play by the young quarterback. Wilhelm just gets the ball there.
Eric Wilhelm, in his first NFL start, he has started twice in preseason. Once this year, once last year. He's playing for the injured Boomer Esiason. His numbers 11 for 22, 100 yards, 3 for 3 on this drive. And off the draw, Brooks has the first down. This is the best looking drive of the day for Cincinnati.
Yeah, but the thing about it looks good, but you better score because you're down 29-3.
And a first down for Cincinnati. A look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. New Orleans now leading 17-13. 8-yard touchdown pass play, Hebert to Turner. Atlanta now 31-0 over the LA Rams. And Green Bay with a 13-0 lead on Tampa Bay. Chris Miller has thrown 3 touchdown passes for the Atlanta Falcons. Down to 3 minutes remaining in the third. First down from midfield. And back behind the line, Brooks was hit by Sean Jones. Sean Jones having a superb season in his 8th year out of Northeastern. Last year had 12.5 sacks. Most by an Oiler since Jesse Baker back in 1979. Sean Jones hails from Jamaica and told us that the fact that he is ambidextrous has helped him. And he can use both hands because of a bizarre situation in his home country of Jamaica. Second down and 14. Wilhelm going incomplete. As a youngster, Sean Jones was a left-hander. Now, Paul, in Jamaica, as you well know, left-handed people are thought of as the devil. So his grandmother made him learn to eat with his right hand, which led to his becoming comfortable using either hand. Now, do you believe this story? This is what Sean related.
I'm ambidextrous. I can't use either hand.
I was going to point that out as I see it, particularly at the dinner table.
Oh, boy.
What a heartwarming story.
It really was. I was overwhelmed there for a while, but I'll get back to it.
It is a third and 14. Wilhelm able to complete to McGee, but way short of the first down.
Wilhelm that time looked so much like Boomer Esiason. It's incredible from up here because Boomer, how many times you see him go back in the pocket and then step up that little short steps as he's coming towards the line of scrimmage and then release the ball to find the open man. He really reminded me a lot of Boomer there. There's the Boomer.
Boomer had his consecutive starting streak stop, NFL's third longest. He had started 37 straight. And Gibbons lets it fly into the end zone, a 46-yard punt, and they will bring it out to the 20.
It's not a wagon.
No. With a slight left shoulder separation. As I mentioned, the NFL's third longest streak of consecutive starts coming to a close. Boomer had started 37 straight, well behind Dan Marino and Jim Everett, but 37 doesn't tell the entire story. As Moon goes back to work, it is Curtis Duncan. Right at the marker, covered by Ricky Dixon. Back in '89, Boomer Esiason did not start against Kansas City because of a sore ankle, but he wound up playing most of the game. If he had started against Kansas City, he'd have 101 consecutive starts, dating back to when he took over the starting job from Ken Anderson back in 1985.
Who happens to be about 3 or 4 booths down doing the Cincinnati Bengals stuff.
He is the color commentator along with Dave Lapham on Cincinnati radio. It's a first down at the 31 as we come up on 1 minute left in the third quarter. And Pinkett did not hold on. Covered by Barney Bussey. It'll be a 2nd and 10. 55-year-old Jack Pardee in his second season as head coach of Houston. Success everywhere he's coached. He's won Coach of the Year honors in 4 different leagues. The NFL, the USFL, the WFL, and the Southwest Conference. Did you play in the WFL?
No. They offered me $1 million to punt, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I wanted to stay with Buffalo because we were losing consistently.
It's a 2nd and 10 at the 31. Houston 29 and Cincinnati 3. Pickett accelerates for another first down, going for 14, tackled by Phillips. Now, Jack Pardee as a player spent 15 years with the Los Angeles Rams and the Washington Redskins. He was an all-pro linebacker on 2 occasions and also a member of the Rams' 40th anniversary team. Jack Pardee, man who brought the run and shoot to the Houston Gamblers of the USFL back in 84 and 85 and has brought it here to the Houston Oilers.
Look at that footage. He looks like he's running the run and shoot from the defense. Nope. Out of bounds. He is out of bounds. Curtis Duncan on the reception, covered by Ricky Dixon and Barney Bussey. Here comes Moon. Look left to your screen, and here's the play. A little bit too far to the outside, but Ricky Dixon went down. He slipped. He didn't have to throw the ball out that far. Even though Bussey was coming, he wasn't even close. Again, on the first down situation, they threw the ball at Duncan there and picked up a first down. Then Pinkett ran for a first down. But that play is open. Wherever you have a single man, you can't afford to risk double coverage on that side unless you're going to put a linebacker out there.
Second down and 10 at the 43. Big rush on Moon, able to get it away. And again out of bounds.
Oh, wait a minute.
Moon and Duncan playing the sideline, and the call on Duncan was the catch was out of bounds.
Well, Bama Glass, number 15 of the officiating crew, said no. But this may be overruled on the field. Here comes Duncan, back to the outside. Same play again. Does he have it? Yeah, he does, because his feet are in and he catches the ball. He has control of the ball, feet inbounds. There's no question about it. What a great name for an official. Bama Glass.
And that is the end of the third quarter. We'll be back after these words from your local station. McGuire, they did review that last catch by Curtis Duncan, and the play stands that Duncan was indeed out of bounds.
But he made the catch.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Then went out of bounds.
And we're underway in the fourth quarter with a first down at the 45-yard line. Houston 29 and Cincinnati 3. Warren Moon has thrown for 3. Moon able to hook up with Jeffries short of the first down. Mitchell Price made the stop for Jeffries. That is his 5th catch of the day.
It really is amazing because all these pass patterns like Jeffries here, these are on reads. In Moon reads that Price and Jeffries are one together, one-on-one. And so Moon gets it out there. Again, you know, they're not looking for anything big. 8 yards or 7 yards on that play, usually 5, 6 yards. And it sets up second down where now you can do anything you want to do. You can run the ball, give the ball straight ahead to Pinkett. Throwing another short pass, you get another first down. He's got topside one-on-one again. It's wide open again.
Second down and 2. Moon following the pump. Curtis Duncan in a foot race with Ricky Dixon.
See, this is what happens now when Dixon comes up to try to play it a little bit closer on Curtis Duncan. Ricky Dixon comes up, Curtis Duncan runs a little post corner pattern, and he's wide open in the corner. There was some help by Fulcher, but there's no way he can get there in time. If the ball is on target, it would have been touchdown.
A 3rd and 2 at the 38. Warren Moon last year went to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd straight season. Finished last year with a compound fracture of the thumb on his way to shattering a number of NFL single season records. And that injury occurred against the Cincinnati Bengals. Alan Pinkett works his way inside the 35-yard line, and so Houston has collected another first down. I mentioned before Jack Pardee brought the run and shoot to the Houston Gamblers of the USFL back in the mid-'80s, and then brought it here. Actually, there was a form of the run and shoot here under Jerry Glanville. A look at the extensive head coaching career of Jack Pardee, and you can note the affiliation with the Washington Redskins, not only as a player, but briefly as a head coach. And Jack will make his first appearance back next week at RFK. First time he has coached against his one-time club. Moon able to complete, and it's short of a first down as Duncan made the catch. Ricky Dixon on the coverage. There are members of the media here in Houston who are referring to next week's game as Super Bowl 25.5. Houston and Washington at RFK next week. Tonight, the Redskins go up against the Giants. Let's a look at the complete schedule next Sunday.
You know, Jim Kelly ran the run and shoot here at the USFL with the Houston Gamblers, and in one season he was sacked 78 times with the run and shoot. They were perfecting it then.
Part of the package. You must have a quarterback who can take it. Second down and 2. And Moon's pass intended for Tony Jones. Covered by Ricky Dixon. We asked Jack Pardee what happened in your head coaching days with the Washington Redskins. He said he was caught in an ownership change, and some of his better players departed. He said John Riggins decided he wanted to be a farmer, as he put it. It's Jack speaking, not us. Joe Theismann was injured, and his fastest receiver, Danny Buggs, also injured.
Blew a tire.
It's a third down and 2.5 gone by in the fourth quarter. Oilers with a 29-3 lead, and Pinkett is stopped for a loss. Tua Tagovailoa with the wraps on Alan Pinkett. Tua Tagovailoa getting quite a bit of playing time with Alonzo Mitz sidelined today by a sore hamstring. And here is a field goal attempt for Ian Howfield, who, as you are well aware, I'm sure, by this stage of the season, is the son of Bobby Howfield, one-time New York Jet, Denver Bronco kicker. This a 44-yard attempt. Earlier, he hit from 33. This time a good snap.
Boom.
No good. And Ian Howfield hearing it from the crowd as Houston going with a new holder instead of Mayatki. The punter, Greg Montgomery, put it down. 9-3 with a new look. Eric Wilhelm, who started the game, giving way to the rookie from Rice, Don Hollis at quarterback. He has Mike Dingle and Ickey Woods in as the running backs. Mike Dingle, the ball carrier, activated earlier today from the developmental squad. He was stopped by Al Smith, 8th-round draft pick from South Carolina, a holdout who was activated for today. Very powerfully built with tremendous leg drive. He's been running back kicks. And Ickey Woods reports in for the first time. Had a very difficult game against Buffalo Monday night. 3 carries, -1 yard, and a fumble.
Yeah, with a fumble late, somebody just didn't block, and he got nailed.
Second down and 6. Here's Dingle out near the 35-yard line.
And he's on the side.
Short pickup. Let's check the Schick Tracer 10-minute ticker. Well, on the touchdown pass from Hebert to Turner, 17-13 New Orleans. San Francisco now 20-7 over Philadelphia. And Atlanta led by Chris Miller with a 31-7 lead. Green Bay now 20-0 over Tampa Bay. Timeout has been taken with 10:37 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bengals calling for timeout. You notice how our questions are so apropos to the teams involved. Statman Elliott Cal providing the queries for us. Cincinnati at 0-7 coming in, so the question relating to the Bengals, who are headed for an 0-8. What's the record for most consecutive games without a victory at the start of the season? Oh. Tampa Bay in 76. New Orleans in 1980. New Orleans went 1-15, so they did win once. Paul, you get the hang of this. Next week, You'll know you'll let the question go, and you won't provide the answer.
I'll give you a sports facts quiz for.
All right, 3rd down and 3 at the 35, and Hollis able to complete to McGee. So Don Hollis, making his NFL debut, has completed his first pass. Lamar Lathan on the stop, and it is a 1st down, a rare 1st down for Cincinnati. Don Hollis, a 4th-round draft pick. He was a free safety for 2 years at Rice, once an all-Southwest Conference safety. Very impressive at the Senior Bowl. He has been the up back on the punt team. He is an excellent all-around athlete. Grew up in this area. He's from Kingsville, Texas, and has a 1st down at the 41. Goes the other side, and it's dropped. Dingle could not hang on. He was covered by Robertson.
That pass play was going to be completed for a loss anyway. I'm going to give you one facts quiz thing that is really good. It goes along with the Tampa thing. Who's the only player?
Is that what the feature is called? A facts quiz thing?
Yeah. The only player that played on an undefeated team, and the next year played on a defeated team that didn't, which was Tampa Bay. And I'll give you the 2 teams, which is very easy: Miami and Tampa Bay. There's only one player that did it. Played on both teams. Now let's get back to this.
All right, we'll have that for you, Elliot. Check it out. He's not looking. It's a 2nd down and 10 at the 41.
I got to reset the clock because they've got it up. Now they've gotten it right.
That is time remaining in the 4th quarter. Ickey Woods, Mike Dingle are the running backs. The quarterback is Don Hollis. And here is Woods. And a flag has been thrown.
That's in the area of holding.
Holding against Cincinnati.
And we've got an injured Bengal. Paul Jatan, number 68, is limping off the field.
Holding during the run. Number 73 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
That's Ken Moyer, who has come on as Sam Weiss has shuffled his ball club. Jatan, a native of Houston, the starting right guard out of the University of Texas.
You know, when you talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, and we talked yesterday with Sam, and they're convinced they were in a lot of the football games, that being 0-7. This game, they were never into it. Really, never in the ball game. And I mean, how do you keep your team up being 0-8?
Mike Arthur has come on, replacing Jatan. Pass from Hollis, but short of the 1st down. Bo Orlando with the hit on Tim McGee. That goes for 14. Next week, Cincinnati is home for Cleveland and then home for Pittsburgh before traveling to Philadelphia, while the Oilers next Sunday play at Washington. There is Bo Orlando, who has an amazing likeness to the one-time head coach at North Carolina State, Jim Valvano. And we questioned Bo about this.
Boy, I'll tell you what, are we really groping? Bo knows
drilled him.
Oh.
It's a 3rd down and 6 at the 45-yard line. And there is an amazing resemblance. Nice catch. Rodney Holman has the 1st down. Bubba McDowell running out Holman, who went for 19 yards. William Fuller is shaken up.
You know, this is the time to get your defensive guys out of the ball game, your starters anyway, and get some young people. Fuller shouldn't be in the ball game. Rodney Holman, this is only his 2nd catch of the day, and both of them ended up in 1st downs. This one here, just a super catch. Now watch the run afterwards. He's going to get a block here from Dingle, but actually Dingle is trying to help out, knocks Rodney Holman out of bounds.
Cincinnati now 1st down at the 35-yard line, and Don Hollis has opened up by hitting 3 out of 4, but this a situation where the Oilers are providing quite a bit of cushion with that 29-3 lead. Just under 8 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. short set by Hollis. And it's broken up. Pass intended for Reggie Rembert. Covered by Darrell Lewis.
These two have been hooked up twice. 2 pass interference, 1 against Rembert offense, 1 against Lewis defense. Now look at this one. Is this pass interference by the offense? Here's Rembert. I don't think they're going to call it. They're both going for the ball, and they both have a right to the football. That's good play. He became a defensive man there. You know who the guy was that played on both teams?
You know, it just slipped my mind, Paul.
The guy's name is Ball. He's a linebacker. Larry Ball.
Are you saying you don't know the first name?
Oh, no.
You asked a question, you don't know the...
I gave it to you, didn't I?
2nd and 10 at the 35. Paul, when dealing out quizzes, Icky Woods, the ball carrier, please validate the answer.
I got it.
Doug Smith, Marcus Robertson combining to make the stop. Well, following Houston and Cincinnati in these...
It really has to be frustrating for that young man with his back to his Boomer Esiason. I mean, and you're looking at a team that's down 29-3, and you made a couple of completions with passes, and you're running the football. I don't ever quit in the ball game.
Hollis able to get it off, and it's incomplete. Deflected by Dingle, who was the intended receiver. Sam Weish was telling us that Boomer Esiason probably will sit out next week, and they hope to get him back for the home game against Pittsburgh.
Here comes the ambidextrous Sean Jones. He almost gets to Hollis there, and the pass, if it wasn't deflected, would have been intercepted. Frustration.
It is a 4th down and 7. And with nothing to lose, obviously, at this point, from the 32, Cincinnati will go for it. Almost intercepted by Chris Dishman. Can't believe it.
No, he had touchdown. See, Dishman, we saw Haywood Jeffries drop too because he was thinking about running with the ball before he got it. Dishman does the same thing on defense because he's looking at touchdown. Right at your screen. Here it comes. Look at Dishman. Nothing but open field. Drop the ball.
Coming on now, replacing Warren Moon, who finishes 24 for 37, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Cody has not seen any action since the season opener against the Los Angeles Raiders. First down at the 32. And let's see what the ruling is here. Incomplete. Haywood Jeffries caught it, but he was out of bounds. Mitchell Price with the jam on Jeffries.
Well, you know, here's Jeffries. He's just sitting there. Now, I'm going to tell you what. They're going to look, I would imagine, looking at it because Jeffries is saying, hey, I caught the ball. The ball comes out after he is knocked out of bounds, but he has possession of the ball. Watch this. Look at his arms. Look at the ball. The ball is solid right now. His feet are in bounds, but as he's hit, he's going out of bounds. The ball comes out. I'd give him a catch.
No indication that they are reviewing it. It's a 2nd down and 10 at the 32. Cody Carlson coming into today 2 for 3, 18 yards. That's been it. Last year appeared in 6 games. Started 1 for the injured Warren Moon in his 5th year out of Ballard. 2nd down and 10. And he goes incomplete, intended for Tony Jones. Cody Carlson had a strong game last season in the finale of the regular campaign against Pittsburgh, coming on for Moon, but then did not fare well in the playoffs against Cincinnati.
No, didn't. Got beat. That pass there shows being a little rusty.
I mentioned the Moon statistics, 24 for 37, but he turned it on in the first quarter. He went 10 for 12 for 158 yards, completing 2 of his touchdown passes.
They ought to give him his money.
Are you on his payroll, man?
Well, I'd like to see him get it.
It's a 3rd down and 10. Penalty flags are thrown as Carlson has it open man. Tony Jones running it in, but
Bring it back.
let's see.
Bring it back.
Well, it goes for 68. But let's see what the call is.
Well, the inside man moved, and they're going to call offside. Well, you can get reset, but was he reset long enough? By the movement, draws the defensive man off, and it doesn't. Replay has nothing to do with this. Top of your screen. Watch this. See the move here? But the defensive man is offside. But offensively, the defensive man has enough time to get back. He can get back because he doesn't touch anybody.
Side. Number 50 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Number 50, James Francis. So Cody Carlson celebrating with Bo Orlando throwing his first touchdown of the season.
You got Coleman, which is right here, and then down here is where Francis is, and I can't clear this. All right, here we go. Would you take a look at now? Francis moved, but now you see that the receiver also moves. Both guys have a chance to get back.
And here's the outfield who has had his difficulties. That's the 3rd missed extra point. 1 was a bad snap. He's 1 for 2 in the field goal department, and he's hearing it from the home crowd.
By Ricky Dixon, who is covering him right here, and I mean, it's like a track man. It looks like he's in the NFL's fastest man because he competed in it. Watch Tony. I mean, he doesn't even slow down. The ball hits him in perfect stride. There's no way to catch him. Touchdown.
Touchdown by Tony Jones, his 2nd of the season. And Lynn James will stay right there. Tony Jones has exceptional speed in his 2nd year out of Texas, 6th round draft pick a year ago. He is the smallest player in the NFL, about 5'6" and a half. A look at the Schick Tracer 10-minute ticker. New Orleans hoping to remain unbeaten, looking for a record of 8-0. Everything else in convincing fashion. San Francisco with the big lead. And Atlanta over the LA Rams 31-14. Green Bay 27-0 in front of Tampa Bay. 6:15 remaining in the 4th quarter here in Houston. And it has been a blowout. Another day to forget for the Cincinnati Bengals, who are trailing 35-3. Pass from Hollis. Incomplete intended for Mike Dingle. He was covered by Bubba McDowell.
It's tough to throw the ball for anybody when you have 2 defensive ends collapsing on you. Sean Jones 96, William Fuller 95, and they're coming from either side and closing on the quarterback. It's hard to throw the football.
Warren Moon now looking ahead to the Washington Redskins at RFK next Sunday. 2nd down and 10. Oh, boy. And Dingle is stopped.
Sean Jones is just, I mean, Dingle went in, stopped, and that's one thing you don't do is make that stop, because once you do, the defensive lineman is going to nail you. Warren Moon, what a day.
And it sets up a tremendous matchup next Sunday. I guess the Oilers were not looking past the Cincinnati Bengals. They got right to it in the 1st quarter. Moon throwing 2 in the 1st quarter, and they now lead it 35-3. 3rd down and 10. Hollis with the deep throw. Reggie Rembert could not come up with it. Don Hollis coming on for Eric Wilhelm, who made his first NFL start with Boomer Esiason out because of that left shoulder separation. Hollis 3 for 9 for 40 yards. Wilhelm at 12 for 24, but really could not get anything going.
The young men are talking to each other. There's Sam with the young quarterbacks. And I think the reason he made the change with Hollis is to give him some experience.
Lee Johnson, who has punted well, one of the few bright spots for Cincinnati, punting to Pat Coleman, who has had his troubles in returning punts. But at this stage of the game, no reason to go with Ernest Givens. Again, a 60-yarder for Johnson. And a 13-yard return. Leo Barker with the stop. Second half of our doubleheader here on NBC. You will see either Pittsburgh playing the Browns in Cleveland, Denver at New England, or San Diego and Seattle. Check your local listings. 5 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And Houston back to the offense, starting out from their 33-yard line. 87, Coleman in motion. Lining up in the slot. Carlson with the handoff. Picks up a first down. Gary Brown, an 8th-round draft choice. Rookie out of Penn State, carrying for the first time. Stopped by Alex Gordon and David Fulcher.
It doesn't get any easier for Cincinnati. Now just take a look at the blocking in the line. You know, you can't just play this team to run, or you can't play it just to pass. They're going to do a lot of things to you. Alex Gordon is playing like a down lineman. He makes the miss in the backfield, and then Brown picks up the first down.
With all the shuffling, this game taking on the look of a preseason affair. Gary Brown now in the backfield. Cody Carlson has come on for Warren Moon. And Carlson able to complete. Duncan. So Duncan with his 9th reception of the afternoon.
I mean, he could have caught 20. Doesn't make any difference. He's been open all day long.
And Houston right on its average. Not as prolific on the road, although they have won their last 2 away from the Dome. Houston coming in averaging 28 points per game, 3rd in the NFL behind Washington and Buffalo, and they have a huge game on the road next Sunday.
Yeah, but again, they did win 2 games, not very convincingly, but they won 2 games on the road that everybody's been knocking. This team can't win on the road. 2 straight, but you're going into Washington, and that's a different story.
Here's Brown. Gary Brown running well. Houston losing, let's see, since '87. They have lost 19 out of 33 on the road. They've won their last 2 against the Jets at Giant Stadium and last week. Fortunate to come up with a victory in Miami. Last year they went 9-7 with 5 of the losses taking place on the road.
We did the game in New York where they were 12-19, I think, at that time, since 1987. And it really is hard to overcome. And again, when you have a team that's winning, people try to find the negative things on a team, and that would be the only negative thing. Plus their punt and kickoff returns.
That is something they'll be paying attention to during the course of the week. Tony Jones has a first down. Stopped by Richard Fain.
They're throwing the ball. Are they avenging that big loss, that 61-7 loss?
I don't get the feeling that's taking place.
Well, no, because when you look at Houston's offense, and you're right, this is part of their offense. This is what they do.
We're approaching the 2-minute mark. I don't think Jack Pardee would do that. I think that's an old score, although there are many players on the Houston squad who are still upset, yes, with Sam Weish and the Bengals, but I don't think it's his style. That was back in the Jerry Glanville era. We'll be back in a moment. Set up by the Lamar Latham interception. Houston jumping in front by the count of 20-0 at that point. As Carlson goes incomplete, intended for Tony Jones. Moon connecting with Jeffries, Hill, and Givens. Howfield on a 33-yard field goal, although he has had a very difficult afternoon. Jim Breach hit from 20 to cut it to 23-3. Pinkett ran one in from 3 yards away. That made it 29-3. And then Carlson on a 68-yard hookup to Tony Jones for a 35-3 advantage. It is a 2nd and 10 at the 28. Just under 2 minutes remaining of the game. Here's Brown. Again, locating the big hole. Stopped by Tagovailoa and Barker. And the employee owners of Avis salute the game's MVP, Warren Moon, as the winner of the We Try Harder Award. That's Avis, the official car rental company of the NFL. Warren Moon, 24 for 37, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Warren's being shown on the video screen high above the Astrodome, and he is getting the nice reception from the crowd.
That he deserves. We try harder, but he makes it look easier.
My golly, you've coined another phrase.
I did. I had nothing else to do.
And Carlson able to complete to Brown. Parker making the stop. A crowd of 58,634, so only 3,900 no-shows. That's a low number. First down for Houston at the 17, and it's running down. Now, Paul, if Jerry Glanville were on the sidelines for Houston, this club would be up at the line,
kicking a field goal
and looking to create havoc. You know that. So then, no way that there's been any thought of trying to run up the score. It's 35-3, and that will do it.
They take a knee here. That's it.
So Houston will go to a record of 7-1, their best ever start. 4 straight wins. They have not won 4 straight in 11 years. That's 4 straight in the same season. And Sam Weish and the Cincinnati Bengals, as Weish and Pardee come together at the center of the field, the Bengals go to 0-8. That equals the worst start in franchise history for Cincinnati. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, you'll see either Pittsburgh at Cleveland, Denver at New England, or San Diego at Seattle. Thanks to our statistician, Mr. Stats himself, Elliot Kalb. Again, our final score, Houston Oilers, sparked by Warren Moon, defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 35-3. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire saying so long from the Astrodome in Houston.